Hello everyone, Insane Frame here, back with another video. In the last video we did Can You Beat Fallout 4 as a Trigger Man, and that was a very interesting run as ammo was certainly a luxury. However, it's time to up the ante and go into New Vegas, so today's the day we ask, can you beat Fallout New Vegas with equipment crafted at a workbench? Now this may seem like a simple challenge, however we can't make armour at a workbench, so already that's pretty tough. But until we craft the weapon, we won't be attacking anything, so the beginning and the end of the game is going to be really rough, but certainly doable. However, I'm not quite sure how we'll handle the end boss that we choose, but we definitely want to be a fairly high level with lots of perk points under our belt. Anyway, let's quickly move on over to the rules. We can only use crafted weapons at a workbench. No glitches or exploits, no cheating or modding, and we're going to be playing on very hard difficulty with hardcore enabled. So with that, let's start the game. We go ahead and start the game. We decide to name ourselves Chuck Green. If any of you know the reference, it will be pretty interesting to know. Anyway, it's time to decide our special stats, and this is where the run gets a little bit all over the shop. So we go for 1 strength, 9 perception, 10 endurance, 1 charisma, 9 intelligence, 1 agility, and 9 luck. A very extreme and lopsided build, I just hope it works out. We then get to tag 3 skills, which raise their respective score by 15 points, so we go for explosives, repair, and unarmed. A decent set of skills for sure, but lastly, we have traits. And these specialise your character further at the cost of a trade-off. So we decide to go for loose cannon, so we can throw grenades 30% faster, but with 25% less range. And our second trait we go for is heavy-handed, decreasing our critical chance, but we get higher base damage. And before we go out in the wasteland, we go and offload all of our items, as to not use any of them for crafting purposes, and to give a fair start. We enable hardcore mode, which means we have to keep an eye on our food, water and sleep, or suffer special stat penalties. We then go to the chemistry set and make some stim packs and sell them to Doc Mitchell for a doc bag, which we'll need. And with that, we set off to the location that we need to get to pronto. We decide to traverse the hidden valley and run through some mutated creatures. We also sneak on a cliff face to avoid some of the mutants, allowing us access to the main area of New Vegas, really opening everything up early on. We get to trade post 188 and go through the lake, and after a bit of swimming, we get to a hillside. It's a gauntlet filled with creatures, and we just sprint on through and cross many bridges and gaps until we get to a cave, which has an NCR soldier by the name of Private Halford. He's in bad shape, but we have a doctor's bag and we manage to patch him up. He thanks us and we get the schematics for the dog tag fist, which is exactly what we want. Now that we have the plans for it, we just have to build it, which requires NCR dog tags. So we travel to Camp Golf and we begin pickpocketing what we want. Since the dog tags have no weight, it's not too difficult to get quite a few of them. Since we're in the area, we may as well go to Boulder City to say hello to the Great Khans. We get an absolute truckload of XP, which levels us up 3 times, which is absolutely insane. We decide to get unarmed and sneak for our skills, and for our perk we go for confirmed bachelor, so we deal 10% more damage against blokes. For our second level up, we go ahead and get some explosives and unarmed, and for our final level up, we go for more unarmed, and for our perk, we decide to go for Swift Learner. So any XP gains we get are increased by 10%, which is fantastic this early on. We decide to free the NCR soldiers, making the firefight start, which is very one-sided as the Khans get absolutely annihilated. They have very poor armour yet excellent loot, so we help ourselves. Just in the nick of time as well, as we get enough NCR dog tags in order to create a dog tag fist, allowing us to now attack things. This weapon will pretty much be our bread and butter this run. We journey to Novak and level up from exploration XP, and we go all in on explosives, helping us out. We journey on over to the New Vegas clinic and we up our luck by +1 for 4,000 caps, which is amazing. We do more travelling and head south for Good Springs, past Prim to the Mojave outpost, and meet Major Knight, who can repair our equipment to full, which is amazing as it will save us a lot of hassle. We get to pickpocketing more NCR dog tags, which is good, but we also ask Ranger Jackson if he needs help, as well as Ranger Ghost. Our first quest is to take out some ants on the main road. It's easy as pie, no serious problems, and we even go a step further and go to the Dry Salt Lake to beat even more ants, giving us more experience. We level up and we go for 45 repair as well as some explosives and unarmed skill. For our perk we get the big one, which is Mad Bomber, which will let us make grenades, but we eventually get to Nipton and the Legion destroyed the town, which is very unsporting of them. So we take a unit of Psycho and use VATS to quickly take out a Legion recruit and then swarm the second recruit, taking them out in the process. We home in on the last recruit wielding a rifle, and then we turn the firefight into a melee brawl. We back up a bit and keep swinging, chipping away at the Legion, putting them down one by one. We then use VATs to take out Volps, ending the fight. We decide to go into the town hall and deal with the Legion doggos. They are evil doggos which won't do. We go back to the outpost and hand in our quest to both the rangers respectively. We net some decent XP and we go back to pickpocketing more dog tags like the greedy snickrot we are. We eventually get enough to craft a second dog tag fist, and we also go to the Silver Russian free side and buy loads of microfusion cells. We also go to Repcom and bash a droid in and hit level 7. Managed to get a whopping 91 in unarmed and a 70 in explosives. Very good indeed. We go ahead and make some explosives, which is just beautiful. Also, we start gambling at the Ultralux Casino on the New Vegas Strip, and having 10 luck in this game isn't really gambling, it's just unfair for the casinos. We get just shy of over 10,000 caps, and we decide to go to the New Vegas Clinic and get a rare spot of armour this run by getting the subdermal implant, which gives +4 armour. We go ahead and go to the Tops Casino and greet them with a cluster bomb, killing a few of them. We decide to retreat, heal up at the clinic, and go in for more action. We manage to use our dog tag fist to great effect, and then when we see Benny and co, we use another cluster to do an insane amount of damage to them, which is pretty decent. We sweep up the crumbs of Benny's squad on the stairwell, and we go confront Benny with several uppercuts to the jaw and uppercut Benny's head off, all in a day's work. Outside, we have both Legion and NCR envoys. They greet us. When they conclude their business for us, we level up. We get to the maximum skill with unarmed at 100 and get some explosive skill. We also get Demolition Expert, increasing our explosive damage by 20%. We can take 2 additional ranks of this on level ups, which is something to bear in mind. We decide to continue ravaging the Tops Casino by killing the remains of their personnel, and we level up. We go for melee weapons. We also find a fancy gambler suit. Since it doesn't have any armor or have any stats, we decide to take it and wear it as it beats running around in our underwear. It's time to go to Camp McCarran, and we do a couple of side quests. So we go to Lieutenant Boyd, and she's interrogating a Centurion. However, due to our high intelligence, we manage to get him to believe we're a Legion member, and he gives us all the information that we need, and we report back onto Lieutenant Boyd and complete the quest. We immediately go to a second quest and we go to Captain Curtis. We pickpocket him and see he has some activation codes. Very suspicious of him. So we go outside and Curtis is annoyed with us and we meet him in the tower. However, we get a bug where he doesn't speak over the radio, so we unfortunately can't report him and resolve this peacefully. So he has to die. We report in onto Colonel James Hugh, but once we check on the monorail, it leaves and it explodes, which is not good. However, we do get lots of experience, so mission accomplished, I guess. We head on over to Freeside and visit the Kings, and we go and talk to the King himself to get some side quests to help us level up. We have to hire a bodyguard named Oris, and we decide to question him, but he decides to be rude to us after tricking us, and we're not having any of that, so we beat him senseless until he is no more. We go to the King, who is actually happy with the result, so we get our second quest. We have to talk to some of the locals in Freeside, and when we question them, a rank is said, which leads us to believe that the NCR are behind all of this. We report to the King and he wants us to look around, and then we find a missionary. We answer all of their questions correctly and he gives us the password, which is hope. We find the doorway and use our password and find that they're handing out food but only to NCR citizens. So we find Pacer in a shootout and we use a cluster to devastating effect on the NCR soldiers. Our grenades manage to do the job beautifully, and once the NCR soldiers are KIA'd, we head to the King and hand in the quest to level up. We go for melee weapons, and for our perk we go for toughness, adding a permanent +3 armour, which is really needed in this run. We'll also use our favour to join the Kings, as we don't really need anything else from the Kings, so we might as well be a King. Since it's been a while, we go and do some XP farm next to the Dry Salt Lake near Nipton. We beat the wildlife in the area since it's respawned every few days and it's easy XP. We deal with some Night Stalkers and we level up. We go for more melee weapons, and after our level up we decide to go to Cottonwood Cove, as we have to go at some point to progress the main story. Anyway, we get to the cove, show them the mark of Caesar, and we board the boat to the fort. We go see Caesar and he talks about wanting us to do his bidding, but we just ignore him. We go to his second in command and learn the Legion unarmed strike, and with all that out of the way, we walk on over to the weather station and get our weapons back. We go into the bunker and we meet Mr. House, who has a couple of unique lines of dialogue, and we decide to push on and we use our grenades to excellent effect. As for the turrets, we bounce our grenades off the walls to stay in cover and destroy them no problem. We destroy the security with grenades in the final room and we upload the platinum chip as we leave. We run like hell, avoiding the sentry bots, and we get back to Caesar and hand in the quest for XP. A level up is gained and we get ourselves explosives, and as for our perk, we get piercing strike, so we ignore 15 points of armour whilst using any armed attack. Very nice. We leave the Legion alone and go back to gaining extra XP by beating down some fiends, as they sometimes drop microfusion cells, which we can turn into grenades for decent profit and extra ammo for us. After a fair few fiends bite the dust, we level up. We put points into medicine and also max out our explosives to 100. We go to the New Vegas medical clinic and get an intelligence implant, making our intelligence reach a total of 10, which is good. We decide to sneak into Helios 1 and find Mr. Fantastic, who's clearly an idiot, so as a budget Wolverine, we've got to fix the main power supply. So we salvage all the mirrors lying around and we reprogram a couple of terminals. We then head inside the solar tower after we reprogram a turret to shoot a Robo Brain, whilst we take it out. We begin to take care of a Mr. Gutsy, and the rest of the power plant is quite the action-packed adventure and a lot of fun, as we use a lot of explosives on a lot of robots. We go ahead and repair a generator and use the computer to reroute the power to Camp McCarran and the New Vegas Strip. A Legion assassination squad shows up and tries to kill us in the middle of an NCR facility. Well done, guys, good job. We speak to Mr. Fantastic and we hand in the quest for some extra XP. Still needing XP, we decide to go to the NCR correctional facility. We say hello to Eddie, he sends us to deal with Chavez, we punch him in the face, and as for his squad, they are no more. Eddie then immediately sends us to a trader who pretty much gets the same treatment as Chavez, so we report back and he wants us to now see what's going on in Prim. Whilst in Prim, we go and get Deputy Beagle and we show the criminals truly what for, as they don't stand a chance against us. We free Beagle and he wants a share, so we decide to reprogram Slim Prim to complete the quest no problem. We then bribe John Nash and get the info we need to report to Eddie and get a huge chunk of XP, leveling us up. We decide to put our points into medicine, and as for our perk, we go for Demolition Expert, getting 20% extra damage with our explosives. We then see all the NCR breaking into the facility and we head inside. We begin throwing grenades at both groups of enemies, so we kill the NCR and the powder gangers at the same time. Once the area is clear, we sell all of our stuff at the New Vegas clinic and poach the strength implant to help us carry more stuff. We head back to the strip and start fighting the Omertas, so we box the greeter in the face and take him out, and then we decide to throw a few grenades. We then just step outside for a bit of fresh air and we level up and we put all of our points into medicine. We heal up using a couple of stimpacks and we go in for round 2. We carve a path through with our grenades, as it's just absolutely ridiculous, as it does not go well in the Omerta's favour. After our battle to the death in Gomorrah Casino, we go back to XP grinding and go back to killing the fiends for more microfusion cells. We get more grenades and then we grind for a little bit more and then we level up. We decide to put all of our points into energy weapons, and as for our perk, we decide to go for Demolition Expert rank 3, upping our damage once more to a total of 60%, which makes us quite the excellent grenadier. We also go to the medical clinic and get the Phoenix implant for a hefty 12,000 caps. However, we can now regenerate our lost health over time, which is excellent. It's time to go to Lucky 38 and we meet Mr. House and we deliver him the platinum chip in hand. We get to see the Mark 1 Securitrons upgrade to the Mark 2, and Mr. House then says we need the boomers on our side. So we go to the northeast part of the map and we avoid the boomers' artillery bombardment. Once we avoid the artillery bombardment by reaching the fence, we manage to get to the gate and we have a guy waving a rocket launcher at us. However, Raquel quickly diffuses the situation and leads us to Pearl. Pearl then says she wants us helping out around the boomers' base, which is fair enough. We ask Raquel if she needs any assistance and she says there are ant problems in the generator room as they've swarmed the place. We also go to Loyal, who wants us to repair the solar panels, so we go on over and we easily repair the solar panels, no problem. We then go into the generator room and we just go around like 10 rounds of boxing, punching the ants in the face like no man's business. It's extremely satisfying. We hand in the quest to Raquel and we gain some experience out of it, and then we hand in the quest to Loyal, but we level up. So we decide to get all of our points and put them into energy weapons, helping us out in the future. We then go to the medical unit and we have some injured boomers, so we do the best we can and we make sure all of them are treated effectively so they'll all survive. After saving them, we go to Pearl and she's impressed with us and she says we can now help with the lady in the water. So we go ask Loyal what the lady in the water is and he wants us to help him raise a plane out of the lake. So we get to the bomber no problem, deploy the ballast under the wings either side, and we get to the shore and use Loyal's detonator. We see the plane come on up and we report our success to Loyal and he's absolutely ecstatic. magic. We go and see Pearl and we get her on side when the Battle of Hoover Dam comes, which is simply the best. Mr. House is made aware of our success and then tasks us with destroying a Brotherhood steel bunker. This mission is the one I was absolutely terrified of, so just to be safe we go and do more XP grinding on the fiends again. We just simply kill them as much as we can, then sleep for 3 days, let them respawn, rinse and repeat. We do this until we eventually level up and we put all of our points into energy weapons, and for our perk we go with splash damage, so all explosives have a 25% larger blast radius, so we can hit our targets much easier. Once we have a healthy supply of grenades, we go on over to the hidden valley and enter the bunker. We're greeted by a Brotherhood security squad, but we use a MCF cluster and we take out all 3 of them in one go. It did take a few attempts, but it was certainly worth it. We see 2 more Brotherhood of Steel members come through, but we break line of sight and take cover, but we use our grenades to throw it over the cover and hit them no problem until they're taken out. Once inside, the stairs are our best friend as we throw several grenades down the stairs and kill Paladin Ramos, and for the other Brotherhood Paladin we disarm them and pummel them to death, saving us 1 more Paladin to deal with. The next part literally took so many attempts I lost count, however we run on through and get to the bathroom and hide in one of the stalls. We wait patiently and heal from the toilet of all places, as desperate times call for desperate measures. We use a cluster to completely wipe out the search party after us, so with 4 down and many more to go, we drop below the main floor and take out a Paladin waking up armed with a Gatling laser. We just simply pummel him to death no problem. We also managed to take down the doctor as well, which is excellent, pretty much clearing the main floor. We go down to the second floor and the scribes are met with a beating. They do get some damage out on us, but they're easy enough, and as for the technicians, we have to try several times, but we fight tooth and nail by grenading them into oblivion, allowing us to freely kill them all. We level up from the experience and we put all of our points into medicine, as healing is truly excellent for us. Now it's time to deal with the elders, so we deal with one of his paladins with grenades and we unleash our inner psycho chuck on these fools. The paladin is punched to death from us, and then we get to pummeling the elders. He tries to grab a Gauss rifle foolishly, which costs him dearly. May you rest in peace, Elder McNamara, your bunker was a worthy obstacle. Anyway, our last opponent here is Paladin Hardwin, and he is not that difficult as he just gets battered by us. With all the keycards in hand, we go ahead and initiate the self-destruct sequence and we get to the surface pronto. The bunker detonates, which is a huge relief as these grenades really saved our asses. Mr. House is notified of our vast success and he says we need to restore power to the El Dorado power plant, but we decide to grind some more by killing many golden geckos out in the dry lake near Nipton. We give the fiends a break for once and we throw grenades off a cliff and we get a few more geckos. We sort them out and gain another level up. This is the big level 20, so we decide to go for hit the deck, so we have plus 25 armour against our own explosives, which helps our survivability a lot more than you might think. So a very welcome improvement to our survivability. With that, we go to the El Dorado power plant and we simply walk in because no one is here apparently, so we can just upload the override and we meet back up with Mr. House and he briefs us on what to do at Hoover Dam. We get a prompt and we dive straight on in. The first part of the bridge isn't really an issue as we just throw grenades, no problem, and keep the Centurions back. The Securitron is a nice shield for us as we beat the Legion forces back and we continue on. We get to the tower, go through the doors, and then we get to just outside the control room where 2 heavy NCR troops lay. We give them a beat down and overwhelm them very easily. We get into the control room and upload Mr. House at Hoover Dam. He then prints out the terms of surrender for the NCR, which we gladly take. We power Hoover Dam on up and we head to the second part of the bridge. This part is just a cakewalk as our Securitrons destroy all in their path with their considerable firepower against our opponents. This allows us to easily make it into the Leggett camp. We grenade the Praetorian and cautiously melee him, allowing our Securitron to shoot him silly, taking care of the Praetorian. The next Praetorians come in a group of 3, so we just launch all of our grenades where possible, disregarding our Securitron. But it clears up the Praetorians no problem, but now we come to the hardest part of the run, the Leggett. For the Praetorians, we cheese it by putting a live grenade in their inventory, killing them, which just leaves the Leggett himself, who is a big problem. This took a ridiculous amount of retries and it was extremely difficult because of the Legion members with assault rifles being able to just gun us down extremely fast. However, the first phase we got the knack of it down as we just had to back up in a figure of 8 and grenade the legate repeatedly. When the reinforcements come, however, we use 1 dose of turbo and consume all of our super stim packs and a large dose of regular stim packs to recover as much health as we possibly can. We get to the tent area and the legate thankfully falls as we keep grenading like a madman. We eventually get the assault rifle units and we just punch them as we can just disarm them and dispatch them as quickly as possible. We are literally crippled from the neck down and we have 1 more fight left in General Oliver. So we heal our HP up and hope for the best. We speak to General Oliver and it quickly comes to blows. However, the Securitrons save our bacon and after a few feeble punches on Oswald, we win. Answering the question, can you beat Fallout New Vegas with equipment crafted at a workbench? And yes you can, but it's pretty damn brutal. Well, that run was pretty damn difficult. Having no craftable armour was extremely tough, and the ranged weaponry just hit hard and fast, especially in the late game. Realistically, I should have probably got paralysed and palm and it would have been a little bit easier, but alas, the challenge was very tough and the MCF clusters were in a finite amount, so we could only get so many electronics, and I should have used them more sparingly, admittedly. But this was an interesting yet difficult challenge to overcome, and I'll go on record and say I almost failed it at the legate. But thanks to being properly prepared, we could literally crawl to the finish line. But anyway, with that, the next video is going to be XCOM 2, War of the Chosen with a single soldier. We have beaten XCOM 2 with a single soldier, but the video wasn't really to the pedigree I wanted it, and we haven't really used any of the content from War of the Chosen, so we'll definitely give it another crack. Anyway, all I can say here is thank you very much for watching. You have all been absolutely amazing, you've all been excellent, so like the video if you liked it, comment down below, even if it's just to say hi or suggest an idea, anything you want really, and subscribe if you're new. I've been Insane Frame. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. Make sure you look after yourselves, and I hope to see you in the next one. But bye for now, guys. You have been awesome. I've been Insane Frame, and this is me signing off. Ta-ta, everyone.